Welcome to the Coast N Tiki Podcast, a unofficial guide to coasting theme parks, roadside attractions, unique dining, and escapism from that corporate grind. Let's get this show coastin'. Tonight's show may contain occasional adult language. Listeners' discretion advised. Now please welcome your honorary hosts for tonight, Reg and Tay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's show. We had a little bit of hiatus due to some personal things in our lives going on, but we have a lot to cover. First of all, you know what's on my mind, Reg? Bakunawa.
You actually said it correctly.
Is it?
I'm so proud of you.
I don't even know what it's supposed to be. I think it's Bakunawa or it's Bakunawa, or I don't know what it's called. I want to go back to Project Purple. Let's keep it at Project Purple.
The purple
gargantuan vengeance.
Vertical
vengeance.
Vengeance. There we
Let's
go.
go back to that. Or the Phantom Spire. Anything but this name. It came out of nowhere. Oh, I don't know. Well, so that leads us into our coast down. So, alright, let's go over the facts of this thing. So, it's reaching a total height of 382 feet. It's going to have 3 launches. The first one is going to be 0 to 60. The second launch is going to be 60 to 80 while inverted on a stall while spinning. And it is then going to reach 80 to 100 miles per hour, reaching that 382 feet before free falling back down the course.
While spinning.
With a 48-inch height requirement, which I guess that's good. I don't know. What do you think about this one, Reg? This one appeal to you? Does it seem too extreme? Some people have said, like, oh, it's going to be crazy extreme and blah, 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 but it kind of seems like a gimmick.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, quite frankly. Like, in concept, it seems kind of cool, but my brain keeps looking at it like, okay, physics. You're spinning, you're getting launched 3 times, you're inverted while your car is spinning.
And being launched.
Yeah, it's one of those things that... Doesn't spinning, like, create drag or something on you?
I think it does. I know the seats are elevated, so I don't know if that's helping with it, but I feel like that would be... It sounds worse from an aerodynamic standpoint to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know all you physics people out there, I mean, I'm probably giving false information on that.
Well, okay, so I guess how my brain is thinking of it, I mean, I guess it might work if it's like a free spin. Like, depending on like the motion and the weight of the car.
Well, this will be a controlled
spin. It
would
spin. But that's the thing, if it's a controlled spin, that just makes me... Every time I hear spin, I keep thinking of the teacups, where you're just going, woo! Yeah. I know that's not what it is, but that's where my brain sits.
Oh, that would be crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see. It is, of course, shattering 6 world records. Because we know anymore, we just have to have a record for everything. So, let's see what they came up with for this one. So, world's fastest spinning coaster.
Oh boy.
Okay. World's tallest spinning coaster. World's fastest inversion. World's longest stall inversion. World's first floorless spinning coaster. And world's first upside down launch.
Wow.
Now, I don't know. These records just get so old after a while. They do it by the model type. They do it by, like, I don't know, like, we're going to do a trip later in the year to Dorney Park, and they have a ride called Hydra's Revenge, and they have a JoJo roll right out of the station, which is basically just an inversion, a slow roll out of the station. Well, if I add 1 mile per hour more to that JoJo roll, are we going to start saying that's a record? Because there's only maybe 2 or 3 coasters and that I know of that have the JoJo roll? I don't know. It seems a bit... I don't know. I don't like it. They need to stop saying everything's a record. I get it. It's for advertising standpoint, but they did it so much with the dive coasters, just nonstop, over and over and over. And then it's not the same thing as the height record.
Mm-mm.
And maybe this does appeal to people. I mean, how many people do you see still talking about Falcon's flight over in Saudi Arabia, the one that like goes 500 and some feet and up onto a cliff and uses that to get its height? I mean, okay, people were talking about, it's like, oh, it's not going to be, most of the conversation was it's never going to be created and it's never going to open.
Mm-hmm.
And then it opened and no one gave two craps about it.
Mm-hmm.
May had a day of splash and I was like, okay, well, that's cool, but I'm never going to Saudi Arabia. So, I don't know. I mean, people have said this is not replacing King Ka. It sure seems like it's replacing King Ka. It almost looks like King Ka.
Well, it does kind of look like King Ka, and also, wasn't King Ka technically breaking records?
It was breaking the height record at, I believe it was like 456 feet, and then it went 128 miles per hour. The speed record was broken for a while. The height record wasn't broken until Falcon's flight over in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because if they're taking down a record-breaking coaster, they feel the need that they have to put one up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm okay with the height. I don't think it needs to be over 400 feet because at that point, it's tall.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, Reg, you haven't been to Six Flags Great Adventure yet, but you will be there in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You're going to notice, like, it's not like Cedar Point where they get the advantage of, like, the skyline and you see it across the water and you're seeing it as you're traveling up to it. I couldn't even see King Ka when I was traveling up to it until I was in the parking lot because there's so many flipping trees around there. I think there's like a state forest or something around it. So the trees, once you have enough of a tree line blocking the skyline, you're never going to see it. So I don't know. I don't think people are going to notice that much of a difference with the height. You're spinning. You're not really seeing much of the height unless maybe, I don't know, if you're looking down while you're spinning, but I think you're going to be trying to not get sick. So
that's the other thing, is I can just see that one immediately making people sick.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think it's funny that they just got Barrels of Fun just opened not too long ago, and that was literally a spinning coaster that was taken from the park I went to last year that closed, Six Flags America, where it was Raging Cajun. It's literally Primeval Whirl. So you just put a spinning coaster in this year. They already have a Wild Mouse coaster at this park, and now you're putting another spinning coaster. So, I don't know. It seems a little weird to me, but you know what? Cool. It's fine. We're all fine.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. The world's not on fire yet. Anyway, let's jump on to our next topic. So, speaking of Six Flags Parks announcing stuff, this was more recent. Skyhawk is going to be a family inverted roller coaster that is coming to Six Flags Great America. And it is going to be, I guess while I'm trying to find what record, it might be, I think it's like the longest family coaster and like there it is. The Midwest longest, tallest, and fastest suspended family coaster. There we go. There's another record for the Midwest. Moving on. All right. So, I don't think the ride is what appeals to me the most. I think it's the fact that they're putting effort into theming. I believe they're retheming the Yukon Territory area of the park. Great America, as well as its counterpart over in California. California's Great America. They were originally owned by Marriott, and back then they actually really themed the lands. Once Six Flags took it over, and then you had Cedar Fair taking it over, and even Paramount. They kind of stripped most of the theming. So you may have saw some of the old signs that said like Yukon Territory, and it didn't look like anything like the Yukon. I want to say even like the kids area was like somehow a part of it, and it was like Hanna-Barbera Flintstones and other stuff. It was weird. I don't know. This will be an exciting attraction. I'm always glad to see that they're adding more family attractions, especially with Six Flags generally being more of a thrill park for most of their parks in the chain. Not having a kid myself, it's still cool to have something that your kid can ride with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the fact that they are retheming this area to be Camp Timber Trail, which is going to retheme a lot of rides. They might actually be, I think they're adding some rides too, and they're retheming the kids' coaster over there. I'd go back to it. All right, you got to hit Six Flags Great America anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be back there.
Cool.
All right. 2 last notes before we get into our meat and potatoes of the show. So Montezuma's Revenge is kind of open. They really didn't do like a big like pizzazz type ceremony to open it. It looks like the old Montezuma's Revenge. Supposedly the new Kumbak restraints are not too hot in comfortability. It's cool that the ride, so Reg, if you're not familiar, Montezuma's Revenge was basically, it was a launched shuttle coaster. So you'd start at the station, you'd go through the loop, launched, and then you go up the spike, then you do it backwards, back through the loop, and then go back, and then they'd have a spike on the back, and then you hit the brakes.
So like in Vertigo.
Very primitive compared to in Vertigo.
Well, it's the same kind of like idea.
It's kind of the same concept, except not the extra inversions and all that stuff. It was literally just a vertical loop up the spike, vertical loop back. I don't know. I'm glad they restored it. I don't think you would have really fit much else in the space that it's in currently. So good for them. I'm also kind of excited to eventually go on it just because it has randomized launches. So I don't know exactly what the sequence was. It was supposed to be like every 100 launches, you got like a randomized, like something that was different. I don't know. It'll be cool. I got to get back to Knott's Berry Farm to get on Accelerator and Ghost Rider because they decided not to be open. So I basically went to Knott's Berry Farm and spent a crap ton of money to get over there and to ride kind of their mid-tier attractions. Silver Bullets and Hang Time is still pretty good though. Yeah. So also speaking of kind of open, but kind of having issues, but not kind of officially open. We have, and I will get it correct this show, Hollywood Drift at Universal Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Finally. I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up. Yeah, so people have actually been on that ride now. And it looks interesting. I think it's kind of weird that there's supposedly no music with it.
Oh?
And they just play random car sounds of the cars revving and...
Don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like it should have had some music to it. But again, you know, those neighbors that are trying to sleep at like 2 p.m, you know, they can't be hearing that music. They're just too darn loud. So good for them. Good for them. So maybe if they just say we don't officially open it, then there's no, I guess, less complaints because, you know, I guess the residents can say, oh, it's open now and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, technically it could just be in technical rehearsals forever. And then just like open it when they feel like it. So yeah, that's interesting. And that will conclude our show, our Coast Town.
Yep, that's it. That's all.
Yeah,
goodbye, folks.
Exactly. No, we got a little bit more to cover because when we last spoke, I was actually on the road, getting some different content for the show and the site and all that. So, to begin the road trip, yeah, it was an interesting start, but we'll go with all the good details. So to start off the morning, I was waiting for Kentucky Kingdom to open, so I was in Louisville.
Louisville.
Okay, well, we'll do a poll on this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, I found out the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Downs, Kentucky Derby.
Is
Is it the Kentucky Derby?
it's the Cedar. Is it Cedar Downs?
Not Cedar Downs.
No, not Cedar
I
Downs.
think that's a mine ride.
It probably is.
It's Kentucky Derby. But I don't know if that was
What's the plate?
Yeah, it's a Kentucky Derby. Oh my god, how can I not figure that out? Okay, so I went towards the Kentucky Derby because it's right around the corner from Kentucky Kingdom. So driving up to it, I literally, my jaw dropped on how large that stadium is for the horses.
Mm-hmm.
It is insane. To start off, I did the tour of the museum, and I did not know that as part of it, you get a small little tour into the actual stadium. So going in there, they're kind of giving kind of the quick history and kind of just all the people that were there. The seats that we sat in while they were kind of lecturing on the history and all that were literally apparently the price of college tuition. Yeah. Like, so
Gosh.
all you sports fans going to the NFL stadium and be like, oh man, I don't want to spend like $400 to $600 on a nosebleed. And believe me, I can't afford that. I can't afford it, but you could go to the Kentucky Derby and take that tuition that you're saving up for your kids right now, if you have kids, and go blow it on that seat to watch those horses run. There is a lot of suites there, which is very impressive. The museum's really cool too. It's 2 stories. They kind of have a huge, kind of like a circle vision type show. They actually don't have to be in the theater. You can see it from the 2nd floor.
Oh.
So you look over this balcony and you can see the show going on and not be crammed in with a bunch of sweaty people in the Kentucky heat. So, it's cool. They had a section that was showing all the jockey uniforms.
I was going to say, I remember in the pictures you sent me of it, all I could think was, I recognize that courtyard. You see it on TV all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's not surprising. So if you're ever in town, it's worth to see. Then I figured, well, there's still another 30 minutes till Kentucky Kingdom opens. I'm already in town, so I might as well go hit the Louisville Slugger Museum. So, of course, that made me a little bit later getting into Kentucky Kingdom, but no big deal. Now, this museum is interesting because it's basically a museum combined with, again, a tour, but you were touring the actual factory that makes the bats for these baseball players. So when you go in there, it kind of looks sort of like you're kind of in a stadium. I mean, it's small. They have a really cool gift shop where you can actually customize your own slugger bat. And then they kind of have some displays out there. Once you go into the museum has all these wax figures of all these baseball players, and it literally looks like you're standing next to Jackie Robinson or Babe Ruth, which is pretty neat. You can also hold the bats of the players, which I wasn't waiting for. That was a very long line. If you're a sports fan, it's still cool to go hold that bat. Now, what I didn't know on this one, and again, being part of it, is you got to tour the museum. Mm-hmm. And they literally took you on the factory floor. So they didn't even say stay in the yellow line. You're just kind of seeing the yellow lines right there, and you see all this machinery moving and all that. And you get to see the dedicated CNC machines that are only for the baseball players if they sign to them. They actually have a board that says whose bat is being made.
Oh, that's
there,
cool.
Which is kind of neat. And then they have a whole assembly line where they have the bats kind of just going down the rollers and all that and the paint process. Really cool, especially if you're in manufacturing engineering. It is worth seeing. And, of course, if you're a sports fan. So definitely check that out if you were ever down there. And then after that, I finally got to Kentucky Kingdom. And I was there to get on the Flying Fox, get pictures of stuff that I did not take when I was there because I didn't bother to take pictures when I was in college 12 years ago when I was there at that time. It's a solid park. It's an odd one. You can tell that it's been through 3 different leaderships because you still see some of the remnants of when it was owned by Six Flags. And then when it went into private ownership by a guy that owned the park before Six Flags, he bought it back to save it. And then you can tell the stuff that Herschend put in. Notably Flying Fox, and I want to say it's called Discovery Meadows. That area looks like Herschend. You know, the whole Dollywood thing with all the whimsical birdhouses and colorful buildings and all this kind of stuff. Then you have the stuff at the front that still kind of looks like Six Flags with the abandoned 5D theater. And kind of the entrance and just a couple areas. And you can tell like the water park, even though they added to it, there are still some remnants of Six Flags even in there. I think what was really weird about the park to me, and I remember this last time, there's a road that leads to the convention center because they share a parking lot that you have to cross. And you can either take a bridge over the road or you can cross the road. So literally imagine like if you're like at Disney and like Adventureland was across the road and you literally just cross the street where all the buses and all that are going through to get over to the next land. It was really weird. I don't know why they have that, but who knows. Flying Fox, that was a solid attraction. It was a nice inverted family coaster. Theming was pretty decent. I got another run on Lightning Run. Lightning Run was, of course, top notch. Really good airtime. It's a Hyper GTX coaster. So basically you're getting like everything you can get in a Hyper coaster that goes 200 feet, but you get all the cool airtime. Very nice ride. And you can get cinnamon bread at this park.
Ooh.
So I actually got cinnamon bread with bourbon icing. Ooh, it was good.
You didn't tell me that.
I thought I sent a picture of it.
No, I don't think you did.
I have to send a picture, but to be honest, it just looks like that Hollywood bread. And after that, and this is where it got weird. So once you got to the part of the park that was across the road, it's a water park. And you can either go to the right, where there's more amusement rides, kind of shoehorn, kind of in a corner with Discovery Meadows, or you can go to the left, where you traverse kind of through the water park, past a really large Ferris wheel, and then you get to the Kentucky Flyer wooden coaster and kind of like a mini Windseeker kind of ride over there. That area of the park, so the water park is nicely themed. The amusement park side on the left side was chain link fence. It felt like I was literally at CJ Barrymore's. Solid family wooden coaster. It had some nice pops of air. It's not long. Trains are short, but luckily there's not many people there. So it wasn't hard to get on. It was a solid ride. Then I decided to conclude. I had 3 more rides on the right side of the park. I believe it was called the Holly Hawk and Roll, which is basically like a family kiddie coaster thing. I need the footage. I need the footage on the ride. I hate to admit it. I never liked doing the kids coasters, but...
And yet here you are doing the kids coasters.
Well, I was waiting there for a while because we had to wait till they had a full train. Otherwise, they wouldn't run it. So literally some family like told their other kids or called them and just said, hey, come on the ride.
Dang.
So we were waiting there 20 minutes and they're like, oh, okay, we can dispatch it now. It's like, okay, this is kind of weird. Then I went to their wooden coaster, Woodland Run, or any of you old time fans, was Thunder Run back in the past. And it sucked. Absolutely sucked. It was rough. It jackhammered. It was not a fun ride. It's basically Hurler at Carowinds. There's not much to it. There's no merit to it. The mini airtime hill at the bottom of the drop was kind of interesting, but the rest of the ride was not too great. And to conclude the visit at Kentucky Kingdom, then I got my ride on what used to be Storm Chaser, and now it's a Wind Chaser. Why did they have to change it from Storm Chaser to Wind Chaser? That sounds like you just like demoted like the ride.
Kind of does.
You gotta be a little. I was like, yeah, now we're just chasing the wind. We're not like chasing a storm.
You're chasing the...
Yeah, that's what you're doing. Is so you're just a leaf in the wind, I guess. Dust in the wind. Yeah, it's an okay hybrid roller coaster. I mean, if you've been on Steel Vengeance, I mean, obviously you've probably been on the best one, or Iron Quasi. Quasi, yeah. It was okay. It did what it needed to do. And then from there, I drove over to Kings Island, to kind of get more of the night rides, and I was gonna hit Kings Island in the morning too, which I did. Not for long, but just to get the rest of the footage. Beast is an amazing ride at night. It's really good. I mean, obviously everybody knows that. I don't have to like reiterate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Orion was okay as usual. Did Banshee. I still to this day will say that I don't think Banshee's that great.
It's
I mean, one of and you've heard him in the past on the podcast. Bryce says it's like the best inverted coaster ever. I don't think it's that great. It does its thing.
I don't remember much of it, and I was there when it opens.
Yeah, it inverts you. Well, you're already inverted, but you have it has a record, I think, for inversions. All it does is it just keeps flipping you upside down, and I mean, any ride can really do that. I like Raptor for the forces. I know many people will disagree with me that it is a great ride, especially in it's showing its age. But I still like Raptor more than Banshee. Adventure Express obviously kicked the shit out of me. Classic Mine Train, very anticlimactic ending with the temple guards or whatever banging their fists. Racer, solid. It's amazing how smooth they have made that wooden coaster now.
They need to bring back the backwards side.
They probably could now that it's smooth. I couldn't imagine doing that backwards rough. That had to be something.
It was fun.
Well, sure it was fun, but it had to be pretty rough. Flight of Fear sucked. So the effects on the line are really good now. Like, all the effects are fixed now. It is actually like Universal or Disney level inside the theme, the queue line now. The rest of the ride, they need to retrack it desperately. Retrack it, new trains, whatever you need to do to make it smoother. It's unbearable. Then I got a front ride. I got the ride in the front on backlot for the first part of the morning when they did early entry. And I got on Diamondback, and then I got on Mystic Timbers, did the whole shed thing.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. So, that's so scary. Oh, and Diamondback. I still think Diamondback is the best ride in the park.
I actually low-key love Diamondback. I remember when it also first opens.
Diamondback is better than Orion, I think.
Mm.
Orion's okay. Yeah, it's taller, but it's kind of just like swoopy kind of inversions. Diamondback like launches you out of your seat.
The first time, which I think was it last year that I rode Orion?
Yeah.
Because as it was previously mentioned, I used to live in that area. I used to live in northern Kentucky. So I was like maybe 40 minutes away from Kings Island. So that was like my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And I think by the time I moved, I think it was Diamondback, then Banshee, I believe. Right?
Yeah, Diamondback, then Banshee, I think, was next.
Yeah, and then after Banshee, that's when I moved. So after that...
Yes, because 2014 is when they did Banshee, and I think Mystic Timbers came out in 2017.
Yeah, so basically I hadn't rode anything up into Banshee, basically.
Yeah.
So it was my first time experiencing some of those rides. And Orion, yeah, it's tall, but it just reminds me of another Diamondback, basically.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, and it's not special to me.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it's definitely not the top ride in the park, I think, but, to each their own. And then they did have a new bar by the Beast. I think it was called the Snake Pit.
Interesting.
They had some pretty good drinks, surprisingly. I had one drink over there before going to my little microtel hotel, which, when they say micro, it's definitely micro. Yeah, so it was a pretty good trip. Got a lot of stuff that still needs to be posted for sure. We're gonna start doing videos that include kind of giving tips on the parks and kind of just our tips.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. Oh, before like people like pitchfork me and be like, "Oh, you forgot to mention the Phantom Theater." Yeah, that shit was closed. Like they didn't even try. They're just like, "No, it's not open." Okay. I mean, I don't know why it would be so hard to keep a shooting dark ride up, but okay.
You know what? You can just say you were just waiting to ride it with me.
I mean, it turned out that way.
Oh, wow.
It definitely turned out that way. No, I thought about maybe getting on it once, and I walked up, and it was just like, yeah, no, we're closed for like the next foreseeable future. It's like, okay. So, if it's open now, good for you. I hope it's a good ride. I've heard it's decent. I heard the shooting's kind of pointless, but,
So is most dark shooting rides.
Yeah, I've heard this one has some pretty good theming to look at, so that's probably what I'd probably focus on. So yeah, that was a little trip I did,
Mm-hmm.
and that led us into a little thing that we had that was Concert Hell Week.
3 concerts in a row, people.
Yes. I want to cover this one, Reg? What your opinions are? Opinions, thoughts, concerns?
I mean, we survived.
Yeah, we did survive.
We survived.
So
it started off with Foreigner and Motley Crue. No.
Wait, no. It was, see, we go to a lot of concerts, so
we do. It's kind of all like
kind of a blur. Oh, it was Foreigner and Leonard Skinner.
Yes. Foreigner, sorry, it was Tesla and Motley Crue.
Yep.
We saw the previous week. And then we saw Foreigner and Leonard Skinner.
On the weekend.
On the weekends. And then 3 days in a row, back to back to back, we saw Good Charlotte and Avenged Sevenfold.
Which, shout out to Good Charlotte. They were really good.
They were really good.
Really good.
Shout out to the drummer of Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes, the drummer.
He really did amazing.
Yes. Keyword right there. The drummer.
Don't come after us, M Shadows, or anyone that's a fan, please. It's just personally our experience from it. It was better.
It felt like
it could have been better.
Kind of a shock for kind of what it was.
Yeah.
So when you compare, like, when you think of like how powerful Avenged Sevenfold's music is, and then you see him on stage, it doesn't have that power in any means. But I mean, it was still cool to see the show and all that stuff. So yeah, it was still a good show. Not Statica. Oh my god! Like, okay, Avenge. Why did you become like this, like, fake? Well, I guess you're not a fake fan. I guess you're kind of a fan, but you're like behind like a cage, and you're like.
I looked it up while we were listening to it, and essentially, Avenged opened for themselves under the name Statica.
Yeah.
And I looked it up just to kind of see what was going on. Statica's the name, I think, of like their newer album or EP.
It's our EP.
Yeah, so slightly confused.
Yeah, I think it's like a project. It's like a Blink, one of their members doing like Angels and Airwaves or
Mhm.
Boxcar Racer or one of those. But maybe you want to go back to the drawing board, Avenge, just for that one. Just a little tidbit. Um, so yes, loved Good Charlotte, Avenge. It kind of could have been better.
I
The
mean,
opener before Statica. Oh God, please do not DJ ever again, please.
well, to be fair though, she was not a DJ initially. Jaden Hammer, I
That
believe.
sounds like it was it.
She has her own band, but she was asked to DJ. So, for them. But yeah. And then the next day, so this was at Pine Knob. So we were on the lawn for that one. Literally the next day, we were back again at Pine Knob. But this one, for a complete tone change. This one, we went from like rock, and like leaning kind of like towards like metal to Train and the Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah,
and Matt Nathanson.
So, yes, Matt Nathanson. I didn't realize he did a song that I knew.
That's usually how they go.
Yeah, and I already forgot the name of the song, but it was good. He did a good job. Bare Naked Ladies this time around, their performance was a lot better.
Yeah, we saw them last year when they were headlining a tour. But we actually enjoyed it the second time around more. I don't know if it was just, I don't know, maybe they just had more energy or they were like feeling it more.
They were definitely feeling it more because they were really hype. Also, I think his son was there too.
Yeah.
So, no, they did a great job. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, man, but the bald head guy. The bald head guy, you were like the energy like of the band.
The crackhead energy is alive with him.
Yeah, we were just discussing that. It's funny, you look at the Bare Naked Ladies album covers, and he's always like right at the front.
And you always think that's the singer.
Yeah, you think he's the singer, and the singer's like way at the back. Like he's not like front and center, so.
He's also kind of short compared to the rest of them.
Oh yeah, they're tall.
So he like just blends in into the background. It's weird.
Yeah. Then they did Train. Train was pretty good.
I enjoyed Train.
Their some of their music is definitely not my jam, but you know, I mean, grew up with them in high school.
I was gonna say, Pat's son was there. Pat Monahan, lead singer. His son was there, and his son came out and did a song.
Yeah,
which was pretty cool.
It was pretty neat. Train is also coming out with a new album pretty quick. I forgot the name of it, but
yeah, I forget off the top of my head.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I think they may have played something off the new album. I don't know. We only pay attention to that.
No, they did play something. They were trying. So something interesting is, so I was never one for concerts to like look up a set list beforehand. I always liked going into it blind. Now that I'm more of like a seasoned concert goer and I have a full-time job and like limited time.
Yeah.
Like I want to see where, like what songs are being played so that I have an idea of when I would probably be trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's nothing against them. It's just that when you're working adult in the middle of a week going to a concert that's going to end at 11 and then you have to fight traffic for another 30 minutes just to get out of the parking lot or longer. It puts it into perspective that you don't want to stick around until the very, very end unless you really, really, really want to.
Yeah, and speaking of that, if we've put all of our thoughts for Train, speaking of trying to get out of a concert at a certain time, and, you know, it's good when you make a full set list, but please, if you're going to make a full set list, don't extend your songs by like 10 minutes. We saw the Foo Fighters.
They were really good live. Don't get us wrong, and don't get me wrong on that one. It's just that they kept I don't want to necessarily say dragging it out, but that's kind of what it felt like.
It went on forever.
Oh, no, yeah, no, because Dave Grohl, he kept going, who's ready for 3 hours? 3 hours. And granted, I'm pretty sure they were on stage for 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't think he was joking. I think, like, for example, was it, so times like these, he kind of stayed to the Formula One. He did okay on that one, but there was ones like, I'm trying to think of the songs.
It wasn't
I'm not seasoned with their song names.
It wasn't Everlong. Everlong was the one that we wanted to stay for.
Yeah,
but it was already pushing 10:30, and they weren't even out from their encore yet.
no, they I heard they took forever to get off that. So, yeah, they're a great band. They just were a little too passionate about keeping on going. And, if it's not a work night, okay, that's fine. But, like, when you're going to downtown Detroit and then half the time you're walking a little bit of distance because
it's like a 15-20 minute walk back to your vehicle. Because, fun fact, it's a lot easier to get out of those concerts, like especially if it's like a sold out stadium, if you park a little bit further away.
Yeah.
This one was at Ford Field.
And you do not want to be paying Ford Field prices, let alone Comerica Park garages.
I have made the mistake before. I've seen the Jonas Brothers at like LCA, Little Caesars Arena, and I've seen Ed Sheeran at Ford Field. And I went with my best friend, and we parked in the parking garage. One of the worst mistakes that we could have done. Because everyone parks in the parking garages for convenience. And when everyone's leaving at the same exact time, you go nowhere. I think we sat in a parking garage for over an hour, not even moving.
Yeah, they have some pretty tight spots in this parking lot.
Yeah.
Too. So, yeah.
So, but I thought it was kind of cool, how there's always a place where like the band and like the singer introduces the rest of the band and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something that we kind of learned that I guess we never really realized, I guess we kind of knew it in the back of our heads, but like it never like truly hit us until the other night, is that the Foo Fighters is basically a band that was put together by each member was already in their own bands or multiple bands in the past. So you have like Dave with Nirvana, Pat, who was Germ, the keyboardist. I can't remember names sometimes. So
one of them was from No Use for a Name. Yes,
that was lead guitar, I believe. And then the keyboardist was the Wallflowers.
Uh-huh.
It's the band that sings One Headlight. Everyone knows the song.
Yeah.
And then the drummer, they have been through a number of drummers. And their current one is Elon something.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar.
Elon something. I forget his last name. But what surprised me the most with him was we looked him up because they didn't really announce like what band he was formerly from, because he was formerly from a lot.
Yeah.
Of well-knowns too, surprisingly, like Paramore, Angel and Airwaves.
Yeah. To name a few.
Just to name a few, yeah. There was at least like 3 or 4. So, which was pretty cool. So instead of introductions, like normal introductions, they decided on essentially the band member respective band member would step forward and kind of do a little bit from like one of their hit songs from like the band that they're known from.
Yeah.
So that was actually kind of interesting way to do that.
Yeah. It just went on a while.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, though, they had amazing energy.
Oh, they did. They kept it moving.
You can tell, like, you could tell they were having the time of their lives up there. They were enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Especially since they had what looked like whole bottles of wine up there that they were just straight drinking from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were having fun.
Also,
and then before that, they had Queens of the Stone Age, which I would like to mention the emphasis on stoned.
Oh my!
Because he looked pretty darn stoned.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of them live. I know some of their stuff and I like some of their stuff, but it was hard to understand anything that was happening in that set list.
I think he was slurring a little bit. It was kind of hard to understand what he was saying. Yeah, so Foo Fighters good. They were not as good.
I just would have liked if they stuck to like the normal timing of their songs. They could make it a little bit longer if they wanted to, but not like a whole like minute or two longer.
Yeah.
Because even some of their songs are just normally on the longer side.
Yeah, and extending it is just not great.
Yes.
Also, I'd like to mention if you're at Ford Field, so we've done the club seats twice. Make note. Yes, you do get access to the club lounge if you're in those seats, but be warned, it is only on one side of the stadium. So if you are on the other side of the stadium, you are expected to walk halfway around the arena again to get back to that club concession area.
Yeah.
So just a heads up. And they're not connected by the same floor. I think you literally have to go all the way around, then take those stairs up, get up there, and then you still have to go down to get to the other one, and then all the way around.
Yeah.
So you still end up going on the main concourse. So it's almost kind of pointless if you're in those club seats to bank on if you're going to get those club level seats. Now, they're still great. Don't get me wrong. Still great. Padded seats. They're fantastic. Just if you're trying to bank on that, be careful where you're putting your seats if you are trying to take advantage of that Delta
200.
launcher.
So the 200 club levels is the side with the concourse.
And maybe that's it, because maybe the 300, I don't think there's 2 and 300 on both sides. I think it's 200 on one and 300 on the other.
The 200s is where like the actual area is, like the concession area for the club levels. And the 300s is basically directly across the stadium from it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was our overall concert experience. So yeah, it was pretty good. We did a lot. Next week we will try to be back on a regular schedule for podcasting, but again, there's just a lot going on right now. Maybe some of it will be revealed at a later date. You're working on a fun little new version of a tiki room, a home tiki room. So we will definitely be posting pictures of that in the future. As well as more videos. We are going to get the videos out. Again, it just takes a while to edit them, as anybody knows on YouTube. But yes, they will be out. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on pretty much any social media platform. And TikTok. Definitely TikTok. TikTok, we still get a lot of great engagement. We like hearing from all of you. And yeah. Oh, and also check out our recent blogs on our website. We went to a place called the Ford Garage, which is known for having a bunch of Ford stuff in there. It literally looks like you're going in a maintenance shack. So that was really cool. And just some other stuff. We also added an area for speakeasies. When the site originally started, we were originally trying to focus, of course, Coast N Tiki on tiki bars as being a part of it. We went away from it for a little while. But then we figured out it's kind of still part of the themed atmosphere with the themed dining and all that. So we do have that. I pulled out a couple of old speakeasies I had went to in the past, as well as tiki bars. So check out those reviews also. Anything you got to add, Reg?
Nope.
All right. We will see you next week and keep on coasting.
Thank you for listening to tonight's episode of the Coast N Tiki Podcast. For all of our listeners out there, keep on coasting.